Welcome to True Basketball. Is this the best USA team we've ever seen? Well, join me and let's see which is the best USA teams we've ever seen. I'm gonna start talking about all the USA teams we've seen with NBA superstars where they took their best superstars in from the first time they did it in 92 until today. Let's start. Something about the 92 USA team that was so special and people don't remember is that that was kind of a perfect team and a perfect time where all the superstars were well-rounded players who knew how to play with other superstars, which is a very key thing we need to talk about, where you had, yes, there was more of a position-specific kind of a player, but at the same time, they didn't hold the ball so much in their hands. Even, for example, Michael Jordan, who was considered a ball hog at that time, remember, he played point guard for the USA team for the majority of the time, for long stretches of that 92 team. One of the reasons is Magic Johnson wasn't 100%. The other thing we have to talk about is Larry Bird was kind of having another point guard on the court. Stockton, considerably one of the best point guards ever as well. So when we talk about that team, one of the things that is not only, and that's why they beat teams by 44 points. We're talking about that the players they had were players that they could play with other superstars and the ball could move with such fluidity. They knew how to play outside, in and out, in the post. They knew how to do many things. They knew how to have an individual offense and at the same time play as part of a system, triangle, pick and roll. They can play many things. Now, and that's how they beat teams by 44 points average. They beat teams by 50 sometimes. Now, here is the thing. I understand that people like JJ Redick, these posters from Clutch Sport, from Clutch, and all these people who get paid to, praise LeBron. I understand that they want you to minimize all those things, saying, well, the world has gotten better. How much better has it gotten? Now, then we have to analyze when it went better, because honestly, it really didn't get that much better lately. And I'm going to explain a few differences here. 94, I think 94 was in my opinion, was the best assembled team in terms of the way it was assembled. They have shooters, they have a center, they took Shaq, Morin, they have quality centers with 3-point shooters who could defend, because at the time, superstars defended. The defense was the thing. So they have enough shooting and they have centers as well. Then the Dream Team 3 with Robinson and Shaq and Olajuwon. I think that was the first time that I saw a team that was supposed to dominate, and sometimes they didn't look that dominant. And I'm going to explain why. I remember at the time that Gary Payton was in the team, and it was a mistake because he didn't fit with Shaq. He didn't fit with centers. He wasn't a great shooter. Pippen wasn't a great shooter. And I remember they had Penny Hardaway and Miller, and they didn't use. I think it was Lenny Wilkins. The coach didn't use them much, because at that time I think the NBA started to change and get more obsessive on their own rules, and this is very important when we talk about the difference between eras, the rules. the the late 90s, 2000s was a time that teams were more ISO post-up oriented to the point that was an obsession. It was overused. Most teams, basically 90% of the time, they went to the ball to the center or ISO a player, and all the other plays kind of were around that. That was the first time. Now, that created a problem because FIBA basketball for a long time, by the way, for someone like me who grew up overseas, didn't grow up in the USA. In international basketball, FIBA basketball, zone defense has always been part of the game, which is in America is totally the opposite. Everything is one-on-one. In the first time zone defense that they put a very tight zone and basically force USA to shoot the three was with that Dream Team 3, and they kind of struggle. They still kind of win by 20 something the last two games, but you could see them struggle. You could see, oh well, we're starting to see close games now. That was 96. The next team that kind of took talent enough to win was the Vince Carter 2002. The Vince Carter 2002, remember, with Garnett and Vince Carter, who were easily top 10 players in the world. They almost lose against, I think it was Lithuania. Was it Lithuania? Yep, Lithuania. They almost, the guy shot the three, and if it goes in, America would have lost in 2002. Then 2004, and people remember 2004, it was the Tim Duncan Iverson disaster. And here is the thing, and I always say this, especially for Curry fans and kids today, that was the moment where basketball changed forever. I'm going to repeat, it wasn't Steph Curry who changed basketball, guys, and I'm sorry for Steph Curry fans, I like Steph Curry, but the moment basketball changed was 2004 USA versus Argentina. And I want to explain why. You have Tim Duncan, you have Allen Iverson, you have Wade, you have Stephon Marbury, and all of these guys who were NBA superstars. But the team didn't have cohesion. But more importantly, which wasn't said in the Redeem Team video, when I watched that game twice, I'm going to explain. They were playing still there. Give the ball to the center, to Duncan. Let's play post up, or let's play ISO, and let's figure it out afterwards. And that was a mistake. Different from what Argentina was playing was very similar to the Warriors. By the way, Argentina, and that was the first time I saw a team with way less talent, individually speaking. I mean, piece by piece, Argentina was inferior, but they could beat them because they were a better assembled team and they played more of a team game. That was the first time I watched a game where you have Tim Duncan, arguably the second best player in the world after Kobe Bryant at the time, 2004. And then you could see that Iverson was a top 10 player. I think Wade could have easily argued was a top 10 player. And they lost against Ginobili. And remember, Ginobili was by far the best player in Argentina. They had good talent like Scola and Nocioni and all these guys. But they are talented role players. They were never superstars. I like Scola. I think Scola could have been a star, I think. But they were never, the individually speaking or piece by piece. If you play 2K, there's no way you're going to win that game. So, but how did that happen? One team was playing post-up, no shooters. Marbury and Iverson were not shooters, and they, even though, besides, they were never kind of a catch and shoot first type of players. At that time, there was a demonization of the catch and shoot player. Actually, Ray Allen said it, and Reggie Miller always say it, like at that time, like shooting first players or catch and shoot players coming off screens was widely seen as inefficient players. Like today, they are like very expensive and everybody loves them. But at the time, they were underutilized to the point that it was ridiculous. That was the first time, guys, I saw, oh my God, something is not right. Let's talk about then, that was the moment basketball changed forever.